Navy Lieutenant Olivia Reeves sat alone in the small control room of her scout ship. The Intrepid was not a big ship, but it was fast. For 3 days now, she had been following a strange signal coming from the edge of our solar system. Earth. Command wanted to know what was causing it. Day 3 of tracking the unknown signal, Olivia said into her recorder. Still no visual contact. She checked her radar again. Nothing unusual. Then, without warning, all the screens in the control room flashed bright blue. Olivia covered her eyes. When she looked again, there was something impossible on her view screen. A massive ship had appeared out of nowhere. It looked like it was made of crystal, and it glowed with blue and purple lights that moved like heartbeats across its surface. Olivia reached for her communication controls. Earth Command, this is Lieutenant Reeves on the Intrepid. I have visual contact with an unknown vessel. It's not one of ours. Requesting instructions. Only static answered her. All communications were dead. Before she could try again, a beam of bright blue light shot out from the crystal ship. It surrounded the Intrepid completely. Olivia felt a strange pulling sensation, and then she was standing in a huge room unlike anything she had ever seen. The walls seemed to be alive, moving gently like they were breathing. The floor adjusted under her feet as she took a careful step forward. In the center of the room was what looked like a throne made of moving liquid metal, and on that throne sat a being that made Olivia freeze in place. The creature looked almost human, but not quite. Her skin shimmered like the inside of a seashell. Her eyes shifted between purple and silver colors as she watched Olivia. What Olivia first thought was clothing turned out to be a clear shell-like covering over parts of the creature's body. Around her head was a crown of crystal spikes that changed colors as she stood up. So, the alien said in perfect English, though her voice had a strange echo to it, "You're what they send to greet me. A single human female in a primitive vessel?" She walked toward Olivia with smooth movements that no human could make. "I expected more from the species that has the entire conclave, so concerned." Olivia stood straight, trying not to show fear. Her military training kicked in. "I wasn't sent to greet anyone. Why have you disabled my ship? Why am I here?" The alien walked around Olivia, looking at her closely. She reached out a hand with 6 long fingers, stopping just before touching Olivia's face. "Because, Lieutenant Olivia Reeves, your species is about to be caught in a war that has raged for thousands of years, and I've decided you might be useful to me." Olivia's eyes widened. "How do you know my name?" The crystal crown on the alien's head flashed with colors, and the clear shell covering her body formed patterns. Somehow Olivia knew this meant the alien was amused. "I am Princess Zarathul of the Vexillian Empire. We have been watching your planet for some time. Your little ship was easy to scan." Olivia swallowed hard. "What do you want from me, from Earth?" Princess Zarathul moved closer. "That depends on many things. First, I need to test something." She held out her 6-fingered hand, palm up, in front of Olivia. "Don't just stare. Touch me, human," the alien princess demanded boldly. "I need to know if the rumors about human empathic abilities are true." Olivia looked at the offered hand. Every part of her training told her to be cautious, but she was alone on an alien ship, facing a being with technology far beyond Earth's. What choice did she have? Slowly, she reached out and placed her fingers against the princess's palm. The moment they touched, Olivia's mind exploded with images. She saw massive space battles with ships as big as cities firing weapons that could destroy planets. She saw worlds turn to rubble. She saw civilizations rise and fall over countless generations. And she understood. The Vexillian Empire was at war with something called the Hive Concordance, a group mind that controlled hundreds of worlds. Earth was sitting right between their territories, a primitive planet that both sides wanted for its resources. When the connection broke, Olivia fell to her knees, gasping for air. Her head pounded with all the new information. What was that?" she managed to ask. Princess Zarathul looked down at her with new interest. "A more efficient form of communication. Most non-Vexillians experience brain death from such contact. Perhaps humans are more interesting than we thought. The princess helped Olivia to her feet. You'll need time to recover. Then we have much to discuss. Over the next 3 days, Olivia learned more about her situation. The princess showed her around the crystal ship, which was actually a living organism bonded with technology. She explained that the ruling Vexillian Council wanted to simply destroy humanity and take Earth's resources. But Princess Zarathul had other ideas. She believed humans could be useful allies in the war against the Hive Concordance. Her trip to meet humans directly had been unauthorized. She was now considered a rebel by her own people. I'm offering you a choice, Olivia Reeves, the princess said as they stood looking out a window at the stars passing by faster than should be possible. Return to Earth with knowledge of what's coming, warning your people of immediate destruction, or stay with me, learn our technology, and help me convince the Vexillian Council that humans deserve to be partners rather than eliminated. Olivia studied the alien princess, trying to decide if she was being honest or manipulative. And if I choose to help you, what exactly would that mean? The princess's shell covering turned deep red. You would serve as my human helper, my companion. In our culture, forming a diplomatic bond requires closeness. You mean you want me to be your partner? Olivia said flatly. Princess Zarathul laughed, a sound like breaking glass. I'm offering to make you the first human to be improved with Vexillian genetics. You would live for hundreds of years, share my power, and help decide the future of 2 species. But yes, there would be personal aspects to our arrangement. Olivia thought of Earth, of her mother in Phoenix, her sister in Boston. She thought of the billions of people who had no idea what was coming. Her choice was clear. I'll help you, she said firmly, but I have conditions of my own. Princess Zarathul's eyes flashed silver. Name them. Olivia stood tall as she faced the alien princess. Even though she was scared, she wouldn't show it. First, no harm comes to Earth or any humans while I work with you, she said firmly. Second, I need proof that this Hive Concordance is as dangerous, as you say. Third, I want to send a message to my superiors explaining that I'm alive. Princess Zarathul's crystal crown flashed with colors. Your first condition is acceptable for now. Your second I can easily prove. As for your third, she paused. Any message to Earth risks being intercepted by Hive spies already on your planet, but I will allow you to record a message that we can deliver at a safer time. Olivia nodded. It wasn't perfect, but it was better than nothing. What proof can you show me about the Hive? Princess Zarathul led Olivia to another room in the living ship. This one had walls covered in what looked like liquid screens. Computer, show footage of Hive assimilation, planet Terax 9. The screens came alive with images that made Olivia's blood run cold. A peaceful green world was slowly covered in a gray substance that looked like metal mixed with insects. The people, who looked almost human but with blue skin, were rounded up. Olivia watched in horror as they were forced into pods that covered them completely. When they emerged, they were different. Their eyes were blank, their movements robotic, and small metal pieces were embedded in their skin. The Hive doesn't just conquer, Princess Zarathul explained. It absorbs. Every species it encounters becomes part of the collective mind, losing all individuality. Those who resist are eliminated. She changed the display to show a star map. The Hive has taken 319 worlds in the last century alone. Their territory now borders your solar system. Earth is next on their list. The princess turned to Olivia. The Vexillian Empire at least allows conquered species to maintain their culture and identity, as long as they acknowledge our rule and provide resources and troops. The Hive offers no such mercy. Olivia's mind raced. The threat seemed real enough. And your people? You said you're a rebel among the Vexillians. Why risk helping humans? Princess Zarathul's shell covering rippled with complex patterns. The Vexillian way is becoming unsustainable. We conquer and take, but rarely form true alliances. Meanwhile, the Hive grows stronger because it uses the strengths of all the species it absorbs. I believe our empire needs to evolve, to find partners rather than subjects. Humans have qualities that could make you valuable allies, not just another conquered race. She moved closer to Olivia. Also, I admit I find your species fascinating. So young, yet so adaptable. So physically limited, yet so creative in overcoming those limitations. Olivia noticed the princess's shell covering had turned a faint pink color. Was that embarrassment? Or something else? What happens now? Olivia asked. Now we begin your preparation, Princess Zarathul replied. If you are to help me convince my people that humans are worthy of alliance rather than conquest, you must understand our culture, technology, and biology. And for that, you will need to be enhanced. Olivia felt a chill run down her spine. Enhanced how? Vexillian genetic and technological improvements, the princess explained. Nothing that will change who you are, but much that will improve what you can do. Longer life, greater strength and intelligence, improved senses, and most importantly, the ability to communicate directly with my people, mind to mind. Olivia thought of the brief connection they had shared when they first touched. How overwhelming it had been. Will it hurt? Princess Zarathul's crystal crown dimmed slightly. Yes, I will not lie to you. The process is painful. But you will emerge stronger than any human has ever been. Over the next few days, Olivia learned more about what the enhancement would involve. Vexillian doctors would rebuild her at a cellular level, adding alien DNA to her own, upgrading her nervous system, and implanting microscopic technology throughout her body. She also learned more about Princess Zarathul. The princess was over 300 Earth years old, though she appeared young by her people's standards. She was the third child of the Vexillian emperor, not in line for the throne, but still powerful. Her ideas about forming alliances, instead of just conquering, had made her unpopular in the royal court. My father threatens to remove my title if I continue this foolish crusade, as he calls it, Princess Zarathul told Olivia as they ate dinner together. Vexillian food was strange, living crystals that dissolved in the mouth, releasing flavors. Olivia had no words for. Then why risk it? Olivia asked. Why not just follow your empire's usual way of doing things? The princess was quiet for a moment. Because I have seen too many worlds destroyed. Too many civilizations lost. The hive grows stronger with each species it absorbs while we simply accumulate resources and subjects. It is not sustainable. We will eventually lose this war, unless we change. Olivia nodded slowly. And you think humans can help tip the balance? I think humans have a unique resistance to hive absorption that we've never seen before, Princess Zarathul said. Something in your brain chemistry makes you difficult to fully integrate into their collective. That alone makes you valuable. But there's more. Your adaptability, your creativity in warfare, your rapid technological development, these are assets the Empire needs. She reached across the table and took Olivia's hand. The contact sent a mild tingle up Olivia's arm. I need you, Olivia Reeves. I need you to be my bridge to humanity, to help me convince both our peoples that we are stronger together than apart. The intensity in the princess's shifting eyes made Olivia look away. When do we start the enhancement? Tomorrow, Princess Zarathul said. My personal physician is preparing everything now. There is one more thing you should understand, though. Olivia looked up. What's that? In Vexillian culture, the bond between diplomatic partners is sacred, more than just a political arrangement. By accepting enhancement and becoming my human attaché, you would be entering into a relationship that my people would view as a form of marriage. Olivia nearly choked on her food. Marriage? You didn't mention that part before. The princess's shell covering flushed deep red. It is not exactly the same as human marriage, but it is a deep bond, recognized by our laws. You would have status in my household, protection under my family's name, and rights to Vexillian resources and knowledge. And what would be expected of me in this bond? Olivia asked carefully. Loyalty, counsel, companionship, Princess Zarathul said. Then more softly. And yes, physical intimacy, though that aspect can develop slowly if you prefer. Olivia sat back in her chair, trying to process everything. She was being asked to become part alien, to enter into a marriage-like relationship with a princess from another world, and to act as an ambassador for all of humanity. It was insane. It was overwhelming. It was terrifying. It was also possibly the only way to save Earth. I'll do it, she said finally. I'll become your diplomatic partner or whatever you call it. I'll take the enhancement. But my conditions still stand. Earth's safety comes first. Princess Zarathul's entire body seemed to glow with pleasure. Of course. The arrangement is made then. Tomorrow you begin your new life, Olivia Reeves. Tonight, rest well. You will need your strength. As Olivia lay in her strange living bed that night, watching the stars through a crystal ceiling, she wondered if she had made the right choice. She thought of her family back on Earth, of her fellow officers, of the life she had left behind. I'm doing this for them, she whispered to herself. For all of them. In the morning, Princess Zarathul's personal physician came for her. The doctor was unlike anything Olivia had imagined, a being that seemed to be made of liquid silver contained within a crystal shell. It had no face, just a shimmering surface that reflected Olivia's own nervous expression back at her. Are you ready, human? The doctor asked, its voice coming from everywhere and nowhere. Olivia took a deep breath. Yes, I'm ready. The princess was waiting for them in a chamber filled with strange equipment. She came to Olivia and took both her hands. Be brave, my human friend. When this is done, we will face our challenges together. Olivia nodded, too nervous to speak. The doctor directed her to lie on a crystal table that molded itself to her body. Clear tubes were attached to her arms, legs, and neck. A mask was placed over her face. Breathe normally, the doctor instructed. The process will begin now. As Olivia took her first breath of the sweet-smelling gas, she felt Princess Zarathul take her hand. When you wake, the princess said, you will be more than you were, and we will be bound. The gas took effect, and darkness claimed Olivia's mind. Pain was all Olivia knew. It filled her world, erasing all other thoughts. Her body felt like it was being torn apart and put back together, cell by cell. Maybe it was. She couldn't tell if she was screaming or not. Time lost all meaning. Sometimes, she thought she heard Princess Zarathul's voice speaking words of comfort, but she couldn't be sure. Then, finally, the pain began to fade. Olivia became aware of her body again, but it felt strange, unfamiliar. She opened her eyes. The world looked different. Colors were brighter, more vibrant. She could see tiny details that should have been invisible to human eyes. The walls of the recovery room pulsed with patterns of light that told her about the ship's systems, information she somehow understood without being taught. You're awake. Princess Zarathul entered the room. How do you feel? Olivia tried to sit up. Her body moved too quickly, too easily. She nearly fell off the bed before adjusting to her new strength. Different, she said. Her voice sounded normal to her ears, but she could feel subtle changes in her vocal cords. Very different. She looked down at her hands. They still had 5 fingers, but her skin now had a faint shimmer to it like the princess's. When she moved, she noticed tiny, almost invisible scales that shifted with her emotions. The changes are more extensive than I anticipated, she told Zarathul, examining her new body. I'm not human anymore. You are more than human, Zarathul corrected. Olivia could feel the princess's emotions, genuine affection, pride, and excitement. This new sense was strange but not unpleasant. And now we can proceed with our plan. Over the next few days, Olivia tested her new abilities. She was stronger, able to bend metal with her bare hands. Faster, able to move in blurs that would have been invisible to her old eyes. Her mind worked differently too. She could remember everything with perfect clarity, calculate complex equations instantly, and learn new skills with minimal practice. But the strangest new ability was her emotional sensitivity. She could feel the emotions of those around her like tangible things. The princess glowed with a complex mix of feelings whenever they were together: ambition, hope, affection, and something deeper that Olivia wasn't ready to name. The ship's crew, all Vexillians loyal to the princess, regarded Olivia with a mix of curiosity, respect, and caution. They had never seen a human before, let alone one enhanced with their technology. Olivia learned to filter out their emotions to avoid being overwhelmed. Princess Zarathul began teaching Olivia about the conflict between the Vexillian Empire and the Hive Concordance. Using a holographic display, she showed Olivia the territories, controlled by each power. The Hive has been quietly observing Earth for decades, the princess explained, zooming in on a 3D map of Earth's solar system. They have infiltration units, drones that look human, gathering information and preparing for a full absorption. And what exactly does absorption mean? Olivia asked, though she feared she already knew. Zarathul's face grew grim. The Hive injects its host species with nanites that connect all individuals to the collective consciousness. Free will is eliminated. Individual identity is preserved only as data, not as actual consciousness. The body becomes a vessel for the Hive's will. Olivia felt sick. And there's no way to reverse it? None that we've discovered, the princess replied. Which is why we must act before they begin the process on Earth. But first we need more information. She changed the display to show a small space station orbiting a distant planet. This is a Hive observation post near the Tau Ceti system. It's lightly defended as it's mainly for scientific research. We're going to infiltrate it and capture a Hive queen. Olivia stared at her. A queen? I thought they were a collective. They are, but the collective is organized in a hierarchy. Queens are connection nodes. They help coordinate thousands of drones. Capturing one would give us valuable intelligence. And how exactly are we supposed to infiltrate a Hive facility? Olivia asked. The princess smiled, her crystal crown changing to a confident blue color. With your new abilities and one gift I didn't tell you about. She reached out and touched Olivia's face. Immediately, Olivia's skin began to change, turning blue and developing ridges similar to the aliens she had seen in the footage of the Hive's conquests. Vexillian enhancement includes limited shapeshifting, Zarathul explained. You can temporarily alter your appearance to match species the Hive has already absorbed. This should get us past their outer security. 2 days later, Olivia found herself on a small stealth ship with Princess Zarathul and 4 Vexillian soldiers. All of them, including Olivia, had changed their appearance to match the blue-skinned species whose world they had seen being conquered. As they approached the Hive station, Olivia's enhanced hearing picked up strange buzzing communications. What is that noise? Hive communication frequencies, one of the soldiers explained. They talk to each other constantly, sharing information through the collective. Try to ignore it. The station allowed them to dock without question. Their disguises and the stolen Hive security codes the princess had acquired worked perfectly, but once inside they needed to move quickly. The queens are usually kept in the central hub, Zarathul whispered as they made their way through corridors that looked like they were made of metal honeycomb. Stay close to me. They encountered several drones, blank-faced aliens with metal implants who moved with robotic precision. The drones barely glanced at them, assuming they were part of the collective. In the central hub they found their target, a large chamber where a Hive queen sat connected to multiple tubes and wires. Unlike the drones, the queen looked alert and intelligent. Her eyes widened when she saw them enter. Intruders, she hissed, her voice like static. Non-collective entities detected. Immediately, alarms began to sound. The drones in the nearby corridors changed from passive to aggressive, rushing toward them. The Vexillian soldiers fired their weapons, which shot beams of energy that temporarily disrupted the Hive's neural network. The drones fell, twitching. Olivia ran toward the queen, who was trying to disconnect herself from her station. On instinct, Olivia reached out and grabbed the queen's arm. Something unexpected happened. When Olivia touched the queen, the alien gasped and went rigid. The mental connection between the queen and her drone severed instantly. How did you do that? Zarathul asked, amazed. Olivia shook her head, equally surprised. I don't know. I just touched her and it appears your human brain chemistry, combined with Vexillian enhancement, has created an unforeseen effect, the princess said, eyes bright with excitement. You can temporarily disconnect Hive members from the collective with physical contact. Soldiers quickly secured the stunned queen, attaching restraints to her limbs and a special collar to her neck that would prevent her from reconnecting to the Hive. We need to go now, Zarathul ordered as more alarms sounded. They'll be sending reinforcements. The escape was chaotic. Olivia discovered that her touch could temporarily disable any drone they encountered, giving them a crucial advantage. They fought their way back to their ship and detached from the station just as larger Hive vessels appeared on their scanners. The princess's ship was faster, though, and soon they had escaped into a region of space where the Hive couldn't follow in. The ship's secure holding cell, the Hive queen sat motionless, her eyes filled with hatred. Princess Zarathul prepared to interrogate her with Olivia's help. Every time she resists, the princess explained, touch her. The disruption to her connection causes extreme discomfort and will make her more cooperative. Olivia felt uncomfortable with this tactic but reminded herself what was at stake. The interrogation lasted hours, with the queen initially resisting, then gradually revealing more as Olivia's touch caused her increasing distress. Finally, exhausted, the queen told them what they needed to know. The Concordance plans to absorb Earth within one standard solar cycle, Zarathul announced grimly after the interrogation. And my people plan to strike just before that, destroying your world, rather than allowing the Hive to gain its resources. Olivia felt cold dread settle in her enhanced heart. Then we need to accelerate our timetable. Take me to the Vexillian Council now. It's not that simple, the princess said, her exoskeleton darkening to deep indigo, a sign of distress Olivia now recognized. I've received word that there's a price on both our heads. My father, the Emperor, has declared me a traitor for intervening on humanity's behalf. Olivia processed this news. So what do we do now? We can't just let Earth be destroyed. The princess's eyes flashed with determination. We find allies. There are others in the Empire who share my vision. High-ranking military officers, scientists, even some of my siblings. We need to gather support before approaching the Council. And how do we do that? We prove that humans are valuable allies in the war against the Hive, Zarathul said. Your ability to disconnect Hive members from the collective is unprecedented. If we can develop a weapon based on this ability, you want to use me as a weapon? Olivia asked, her voice sharp. The princess touched her arm gently. I want to use your unique abilities to save both our peoples. The Hive is the true enemy. Here. If we can prove that humans have a natural defense against them that can be enhanced and shared, even the most stubborn members of the Council will see your value. 8 months had passed since Olivia Reeves disappeared from Earth. 8 months of planning, training, and building alliances across the Vexillian Empire. Now she was coming home, but not as the woman who had left. Approaching Earth orbit, Olivia said, her hands moving confidently over the controls of her ship. The small Vexillian scout vessel responded to her thoughts as much as her touch, another benefit of her enhancement. The ship had been a wedding gift from Princess Zarathul, who now preferred to be called simply Zara, a concession to human custom. That had touched Olivia deeply. Their union, performed in a traditional Vexillian bonding ceremony, had scandalized much of the Empire but created a small, vocal faction that supported Zara's vision of alliance rather than conquest. Are you nervous? Zara asked, standing behind Olivia's command chair. The princess's hand rested lightly on Olivia's shoulder, a constant reminder of their connection. Yes, Olivia admitted. Earth has no idea what's coming, and I don't know how they'll react to. She gestured to herself, to the subtle but unmistakable changes in her appearance. To your enhancement? Or to me? Zara asked, her voice gentle. Both, Olivia said honestly. Humans fear what they don't understand, and you and I what we represent. It's a lot to accept. Earth had changed in Olivia's absence. Her disappearance had triggered emergency protocols. The mysterious vanishing of a Navy scout ship had been classified as a possible first contact situation. Nations had united under the threat of alien invasion, and the planet's limited defense systems were on high alert. When Olivia's ship was detected, a squadron of experimental fighters launched to intercept. Leading them was Captain Samantha Keller, Olivia's former academy roommate and ex-girlfriend. "This is Captain Keller of Earth Defense Force." A familiar voice came over the communication system. "Unidentified vessel, state your purpose or be fired upon." Olivia's heart raced. Sam was alive and in command. This might make things easier or much harder. "Sam, it's me. It's Olivia," she responded, activating the visual communication system. She knew the shock her appearance would cause. There was a long silence. "Olivia Reeves died 8 months ago," Sam finally replied, her voice cold. "Whatever you are, you're not her." Olivia closed her eyes briefly. This was going to be difficult. "Diamondback," she said, using their old code word from academy days. "Remember that night in Anchorage when the northern lights were so bright we thought we could touch them? You said it was like the sky was trying to reach down and kiss the earth." Another long pause. "Prove you're not compromised," Sam demanded, but her voice had softened slightly. "I can do better than that," Olivia replied. "I'm sending coordinates. Meet me alone and I'll explain everything. Earth is in danger, Sam. Greater danger than anyone realizes." The meeting point Olivia chose was a remote cabin in Alaska, not far from where she and Sam had once spent a leave together. It was isolated, enough for privacy but close enough to civilization that Sam wouldn't feel completely vulnerable. Olivia arrived first, landing her ship in a clearing and camouflaging it with Vexillian technology. Zara had wanted to come with her, but Olivia had convinced her to wait on the ship. "This first meeting needs to be just me and Sam," Olivia had explained. "She needs to see that I'm still myself before we introduce an actual alien into the conversation." Zara had agreed, though reluctantly. Their bond allowed her to sense Olivia's emotions at a distance, which provided some comfort to them both. When Sam's helicopter landed near the cabin, Olivia waited inside. She had changed into Earth clothes, jeans and a simple sweater, hoping to appear as normal as possible despite her altered appearance. Sam entered cautiously, her hand on her sidearm. She froze when she saw Olivia. "My God," she whispered. "What happened to you?" Olivia stayed seated, trying to appear non-threatening. "It's a long story, Sam. But I'm still me. I'm still Olivia." Sam kept her gun aimed at Olivia's chest. "You look different." "I've been enhanced," Olivia said simply. "Vexillian technology and genetics, it was necessary for what I needed to do." "Which is what exactly?" Sam's voice was hard, professional, but Olivia could sense the hurt and confusion beneath it. Olivia took a deep breath. "To save Earth from being caught between two interstellar empires that would either destroy us or worse." Over the next hour, Olivia explained everything: her abduction, the war between the Vexillians and the Hive, her enhancement, and her relationship with Zara. "So you've married an alien princess and expect us to believe you're here to help?" Sam asked incredulously. "I'm here to save humanity," Olivia corrected, her enhanced eyes glowing slightly in the dim light of the cabin. "But I need Earth's governments to trust me, and I thought you might help with that." "By doing what?" "By helping me present evidence of both threats to the United Nations Security Council. I have Hive Concordance infiltration data showing their agents already on Earth, and tactical assessments of the Vexillian fleet preparing for a preemptive strike." Sam finally lowered her weapon. "And your wife is okay with you betraying her people's military plans?" "She's the one who compiled the intelligence," Olivia said. "Zara believes the only way forward is a three-way peace. The Vexillians need allies against the Hive. The Hive is overextended and vulnerable to a coordinated attack, and humans have a unique resistance to Hive assimilation that makes them valuable to both sides." Sam was quiet for a long moment, studying Olivia. "You really believe in this, don't you? In her?" Olivia nodded. "I do. I've seen both sides of this war, Sam. I've touched the mind of a Hive queen. I've walked the halls of the Vexillian royal palace. Neither side is perfectly good or evil, But the hive would erase everything that makes us human. The Vexillians at least offer the chance for alliance for mutual benefit. And what about you? Sam asked softly. Are you still human, Liv? The use of her old nickname made Olivia's heart ache. I'm something more now, but at my core I'm still me. Still the woman who wanted to explore the stars. Still the officer who swore to protect Earth. That hasn't changed. Sam sighed and holstered her weapon. I don't know if I can trust you, but I can at least listen to your evidence before making a decision. That's all I ask, Olivia said. And there's someone you should meet. She sent a mental message to Zara through their bond. A few minutes later, the door opened, and the Vexillian princess entered. Sam's hand went back to her gun, but she didn't draw it. Captain Samantha Keller, Zara said, her voice carrying that strange harmonic quality that marked her as non-human. I am Princess Zara Thule of the Vexillian Empire, but you may call me Zara. Any friend of Olivia's is a friend of mine. Sam stared, clearly struggling to maintain her composure in the face of an actual alien. Your Highness, she managed. Please, let us sit, Zara said. We have much to discuss and time grows short. Over the next few hours, Zara presented evidence of both hive infiltration on Earth and the Vexillian Empire's plans. She showed Sam footage of hive assimilation on other worlds, data on hive drones already operating on Earth, and Vexillian battle plans that targeted key Earth defense installations. You realize this is a lot to take in, Sam said finally. And, even if I believe you, convincing the Security Council will be another matter entirely. That's why we brought this, Olivia said, holding up a small crystal device. It contains a hive neural parasite, safely contained in a Vexillian stasis field. It's proof that the hive exists and is a threat. And this, Zara added, producing a glowing blue cube, is a data core containing complete schematics for defensive shield technology that can protect Earth's major cities from orbital bombardment. A gesture of good faith from me to your people. Sam looked between them, then nodded slowly. I'll arrange a meeting with my superiors. No promises beyond that. It's a start, Olivia said, relief evident in her voice. As Sam prepared to leave, she paused at the door. Liv, are you happy? With her, I mean? Olivia glanced at Zara, feeling the warm pulse of the princess's emotions through their bond. Yes, she said honestly. It's not what I ever imagined for my life, but yes, I'm happy. Sam nodded, something like acceptance in her eyes. Then I'll do what I can to help, for Earth's sake, and for yours. After Sam left, Zara came to Olivia and took her hands. That went better than expected. Olivia leaned against her alien wife, drawing comfort from her presence. Sam's a good person, a good officer. If anyone can help us get a hearing with the right people, it's her. And if they don't believe us? Zara asked. Olivia straightened, determination flooding through her. Then we move to Plan B. We find the hive infiltrators ourselves and expose them publicly. Earth needs to see the threat to believe it. Zara's crystal crown glowed with pride. This is why I chose you, my love. Your adaptability, your determination. Truly human traits that I find most admirable. Olivia smiled, her slightly pointed teeth gleaming in the cabin's low light. Let's just hope it's enough. We have less than 4 months before the hive begins full absorption procedures, and even less before your father's fleet arrives. We will succeed, Zara said with royal confidence. We must. 2 weeks later, after many tense meetings and demonstrations of alien technology, Olivia and Zara were granted an audience with the United Nations Security Council. Sam had kept her word, convincing her superiors that the threat was real. The United Nations Hall was filled beyond capacity. Representatives from every nation had gathered for what was being called the Extraordinary Session on Extraterrestrial Affairs. Security was tight, with armed guards at every entrance and snipers, positioned on nearby rooftops. Olivia stood backstage fighting the urge to pace. Her enhanced senses picked up the nervous heartbeats of the security detail, the whispered conversations of diplomats, and the barely contained excitement of the scientific observers who had been permitted to attend. "Are you ready?" Zara asked, adjusting her formal Vexillian attire. For this occasion, she had chosen to appear in her full royal regalia, a living crystal crown that extended down her back like a cape, and ceremonial armor that shimmered with bioluminescent patterns denoting her rank and lineage. Olivia nodded, smoothing down the front of her dress uniform. It was a replica of her Navy lieutenant's uniform, but modified to accommodate her changed physiology. "As ready as I'll ever be." The Secretary General's voice came over the speakers. "Ladies and gentlemen, distinguished representatives, we are gathered today to hear testimony regarding a matter of unprecedented importance to all humanity. I now present Lieutenant Olivia Reeves of the United States Navy and her companion." It wasn't the most elegant introduction, but given the circumstances, it would have to do. Olivia walked onto the stage, Zara at her side. A collective gasp rose from the assembly as they took in the sight of the enhanced human and the alien princess. "Thank you, Mr. Secretary General," Olivia said, her voice steady despite her nervousness. 8 months ago, I was abducted from my scout ship while on routine patrol. Today, I returned to Earth with critical information about 2 interstellar powers who have Earth in their sights. She gestured to Zara. "May I present Princess Zarathul of the Vexillian Empire, who has risked her position and her life to warn humanity of the dangers we face." Zara stepped forward, her presence commanding instant attention. "People of Earth," she began, her voice carrying that distinctive harmonic quality that marked her as non-human. "Your world stands at the intersection of a conflict that has raged across the stars for thousands of your years. Using holographic technology far beyond Earth's capabilities, Zara displayed a 3-dimensional map of the galaxy, highlighting the territories controlled by the Vexillian Empire and the Hive Concordance. "Earth sits here," she said, zooming in on a small blue dot, "on the border between our civilizations. To the Vexillian Empire, you represent resources to be harvested and a strategic position to be controlled. To the Hive Concordance, you represent billions of new minds to be absorbed into their collective consciousness." Murmurs of alarm spread through the assembly. "Neither fate is acceptable," Olivia cut in, "which is why Princess Zarathul and I have formed an alliance. A third path that offers humanity a chance to maintain its independence while gaining protection and advanced technology." For the next hour, they presented evidence, footage of Hive assimilation on other worlds, data showing Hive infiltrators already on Earth, tactical assessments of the Vexillian fleet preparing for a preemptive strike against Earth. "We stand at a crossroads," Olivia told the assembly, her voice carrying through the hall. "We can be destroyed in a war between empires, we can lose our identity to the Hive, or we can become players on the galactic stage through strategic alliance." Zara stepped forward, her exoskeleton glittering under the lights. "My faction within the Vexillian Empire offers humanity enhancement technology, defensive capabilities, and full autonomy in exchange for military cooperation against the Hive Concordance. I cannot promise this will be bloodless, but I can promise humanity will survive." The room erupted with questions, objections, and demands for proof. Zara activated a small device that scanned the room. "There," she said, pointing to a delegate from a small Eastern European nation. "That individual is not human. He is a Hive drone." Security personnel rushed forward, surrounding the accused delegate, who suddenly stood up, his eyes changing to a metallic sheen. "The Hive is inevitable," he said, his voice taking on an unnatural buzz. "Resistance is—" He didn't finish the sentence. Olivia had moved with enhanced speed, crossing the room in seconds. She touched the drone's face, and instantly, he collapsed. "What did you do to him?" the Secretary General demanded. "I temporarily severed his connection to the Hive mind," Olivia explained, returning to the stage. "When Vexillian enhancement is combined with human biology, it creates a unique effect that disrupts Hive control. He'll recover consciousness soon, as himself, whatever is left of his original personality." She turned to address the entire assembly. "This is what the Hive does. It plants infiltrators who look human but are controlled by the collective. They gather intelligence, sabotage defenses, and prepare the way for full absorption. And they're already here, in positions of power around the world. The revelation caused panic. The session was temporarily adjourned while security teams, guided by Zara's scanning device, identified and contained 3 more Hive infiltrators among the diplomatic corps. When the session resumed the next day, the mood had changed from skepticism to grim determination. Captain Samantha Keller, now serving as Earth's military liaison to the Vexillians, presented a proposed defense strategy. Princess Zara Thule has provided us with shield technology that can protect our major cities from orbital bombardment. But more importantly, she offers a path for humanity to develop capabilities that can defend us against both the Hive and any future Vexillian aggression. And what does this path entail? Asked the Russian representative, his voice suspicious. Voluntary enhancement, Olivia explained. Similar to what I've undergone, but with modifications based on what we've learned. It would be offered first to military volunteers, creating a special force capable of identifying and neutralizing Hive infiltrators, and eventually able to face Hive forces directly. The Chinese representative stood. And we are to trust that this enhancement won't simply make our soldiers loyal to the Vexillian Empire? Zara's crystal crown flashed with indignation. The enhancement does not affect free will or loyalty. Lieutenant Reeves maintains her devotion to Earth despite her changes. It simply gives humans the physical and mental capabilities to compete on an interstellar level. I remain fully myself, Olivia assured them. My priorities are Earth's survival and independence. The enhancement has not changed that. The negotiations lasted weeks. Nations debated. Scientists examined the alien technology. Military leaders strategized. Throughout it all, Olivia and Zara worked tirelessly, answering questions, providing demonstrations, and building trust. Then came the attack that ended all debate. The Hive Concordance, realizing that their infiltration had been discovered, launched a surprise assault on Earth's moon base, destroying it completely. The attack, visible from Earth as a bright flash on the lunar surface, killed all 300 scientists and military personnel stationed there. Overnight, opposition to the alliance crumbled. Within days, the first volunteer corps of soldiers from around the world were being transported to Zara's flagship for enhancement and training. Captain Samantha Keller was among the first to volunteer. You don't have to do this, Olivia told her as they prepared to board the transport. Sam's face was determined. If you can do it, so can I. Besides, someone needs to make sure these Vexillians don't get too comfortable ordering humans around. Olivia smiled. That's the Sam I remember. As the volunteer corps began their training, Zara received word from her supporters in the Vexillian Empire. The news was mixed. Her actions had inspired many to join her cause, but the Emperor, her father, had declared her a traitor and ordered the royal fleet to accelerate their plans for Earth. We have less time than we thought, Zara told Olivia, as they stood on the observation deck of her flagship, watching Earth rotate slowly below them. My father will not accept this alliance. He sees it as weakness, as contamination. Then we need to show strength, Olivia replied. We need to prove that humans, enhanced with Vexillian technology, can be effective against the Hive. A victory might change his mind. Zara nodded slowly. There is a Hive outpost in the Epsilon Eridani system. It's a communication hub vital to their operations in this sector. If we could capture or destroy it, it would demonstrate our value as allies, Olivia finished. And potentially delay the Hive's plans for Earth while we build our defenses. The mission was planned in secret. 300 enhanced humans, led by Olivia and Captain Keller, would join a force of Vexillians loyal to Princess Zara in an assault on the Hive outpost. It would be humanity's first interstellar military operation. The night before they departed, Olivia stood again on the observation deck, looking down at the blue planet that had once been her only home. Having second thoughts? Zara asked, joining her. Thinking about how far I've come, Olivia replied. 8 months ago, I was just a Navy lieutenant on a routine patrol. Now I'm leading humans into battle against an alien collective, married, to a princess from another world and physically changed into something beyond human. Do you regret it? Zara asked, taking Olivia's hand.